Spangler.
And do you want to tell me a little bit about your band?
Well, we're the Paxton Spangler Band, and it's T-Bone Paxton and myself, R.J. Spangler. John and I have been playing together since the late 1970s. He's a trombone player and he sings. I'm a percussionist and a drummer. And we play songs from the Great American Songbook. We play early jump and jive. We play New Orleans R&B and New Orleans trad jazz. We like to have a fun time, you know. We play some bossa nova. We have other projects on the side too. You know, we've been working on a record where we play some South African jazz. You know, we mix it up. But whatever we do, we like to connect with audiences. You know, it's important to us to not just play a bunch of esoteric solos and kind of play over the audience's head. It's important for us to connect with something soulful. So I like playing with singers, and John's a good singer. Yep. Limbo Jazz, and it's by probably our greatest hero, the great Edward Kennedy Duke Ellington.
Yes.
From our nation's capital, born and raised in Washington, D.C. I've read many books about the great Duke Ellington, and I'll read a few more before I'm done on this planet. He wrote that song in the 1960s. He started recording in the 1920s. And he died in the 1970s. That was a heck of a career that Duke Ellington had. He was still relevant, writing songs. That was Limbo Jazz. I think about it. He was thinking about the limbo craze. He came up with that song. The man was always doing something. Always doing something. That was on a record he made where he featured a man who was considered the very first great tenor saxophone player in jazz. There you go, guy. That's it. There you go. Hit those drums. That's how I started, right there.
Exactly.
No, Coleman Hawkins. He made a record with Coleman Hawkins, who was considered the very first really important tenor sax player. And they made a record together, and it's a wonderful record. I remember when I bought that record, I probably played it every day for a month. And you might consider buying that record. And it's, of course, it's on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube today. Anyway, that's our opening salvo for today. Now we're going to play the title cut of our debut CD, Back in Your Own Backyard. It's on the Detroit Music imprint. John, you want to say something about this record? It's T-Bone Paxton with the R.J. Spangler Quartet. We are the R.J. Spangler Quartet. I'm going to introduce the guys in the band before John says a few remarks. But this is John T-Bone Paxton. You want to give him a little applause? John and I have been making music together since about 1977 or 78, which I think that deserves more applause right there. Marriages have come and gone, but we have been together. Our bassist has been with us now for at least 5 years, John. Jeff Cooney on bass. This is our wonderful drummer, who's been with us for several years now. Sean Pullman, very fine musician. Our guitar player got a day job, the dreaded day job, and they changed the hours on him, so he couldn't make it today. So we have a wonderful substitute guitar player. We're always happy when he can make it with us because he's just a fine musician and he's a wonderful human being, Jacob Schwab. T-Bone?
Title track off the CD. We're very happy about it. It's been put out on a subsidiary label of Mac Avenue Records, Detroit Music Factory. I have some here for you tonight if you'd like to take it home for $10.
They're all going to buy one, right?
Please do. I've got 7 here and look to sell them all, and we're just so happy to be here and be back playing. As a matter of fact, this performance is the first time we've played together as a group since we were at the owner of Mac Avenue Records Club, Gretchen Blade's Club in Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan, the Dirty Dog Jazz Cafe. Gretchen Blade is the patron saint of jazz in Detroit, and we're very proud to be part of her label. So we hope now that the weather is lightening up and you're enjoying your backyard. So this one is for all of you as you prepare to live in your backyards for the summer.
I'm already there. last Sunday was the Detroit Music Award. Detroit Music Awards are called now. They used to be called the Motor City Music Awards. Anyway, we were up collectively for 5 different awards, and we didn't win any of them, which is fine. Our other band, the Planet D Nonette, has won 7, either outstanding traditional jazz band or outstanding jazz recording. So we've won our share of awards.
John, you heard that one down on a trip to New Orleans, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
Yeah. When you go to New Orleans, it's always sort of a research trip. Not only having fun, but they're always coming back with something to share, you know. Here's another song from our CD. This one's by Fats Waller. Do we have any Fats Waller fans out there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, oftentimes you say something like that, there might be 1 or 2 people that are hip to Fats Waller. When you're done, there might be a whole room full of Fats Waller fans.
Yeah.
Fats was a great piano player. He was a cigar chomping. You understand, sir, yeah. He wrote so many funny songs. He was an entertainer. He was a singer. He played the big organs, and he was just. The COVID's been a time for reading, and I read a biography on Fats too while I've been sitting around the house and doing lots of research. And he was part of the Harlem Renaissance. He learned from all these great Harlem piano players that came ahead of him, and he really offered a lot when it came to entertainment. Let me tell you right now. Here we go.
RJ's a very productive guy. He probably read 50 books.
Oh, yes.
And you read 50 books, and he wrote a book.
Oh. I'm not done yet, but I'm writing a book.
He's got a good chunk of it done.
Yeah.
German, RJ Spangler.
Finish it.
People go out to have a good time. Not everybody is a jazz fan. Jazz, which is the heart of what we do and what I love in life, is an instrumental music for the most part.
What do you think, Fast Water? Pretty great, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good, huh?
So back in
You already know.
February 24th, 2020, this was mailed out to the entire English-speaking world.
That's true.
And at 2 weeks, we were at in the 70s.
Oh, the top 200
Top
jazz.
200 jazz. So it was rising quickly, and then COVID came along. So Such is life.
They sent all the DJs home and started like archived radio shows.
We march forward, like men should.
Yes.
My brother's back there.
John
Yes, I call it Sing Out, Penn State University Men's Glee Club, 1981, world's finest choir in the world. Direction of Harry Langsford, one of the great men of my life. What are we doing?
We're gonna do yet one more from this CD that we're flogging today.
Oh, okay. Great.
Here's a song by Charlie Chaplin.
Cool. Oh, we're just...
He was a film auteur, as we all know, but he was also a composer. We all know the song.
So we're going to do Vamp on the boom, boom, do G flat. Thank you. Great auteur, Charlie Chaplin.
Play in a place like this, which is a place of learning and a library. People come not necessarily because they're jazz fans, but they're interested culturally speaking. So you're trying to talk to them and engage them, and they're open-minded. They came because they're culturally interested, and that's where I'm going to catch them, and that's all I care about. You see, I want to connect with them on a cultural basis. 5 times a month for years now. And I love it. I have a fantastic time. It's been really, really good.
Just keep smiling.
Yeah, so we've covered Duke Ellington, we've covered Vance Waller.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Now we've covered Charlie Chaplin. I think one of the things we always like to do is Nat King Cole.
Well, what do you want to do?
I had a book I read this year. It was 600 pages on Nat King Cole by Will Friedwald. Will writes for the Wall Street Post. I mentioned, Nature. And this is kind of a unique song because it's not your average song form, one might say. Evan wrote this song. And Nat he wrote some of his hits. A lot of the people, he was a crooner, one would say. And a lot of your crooners like Sinatra and so forth, they mined the Great American Songbook, so they chose songs written by Cole Porter and Johnny Mercer. Johnny Mercer owned the label, was one of the owners of Mercury, who he recorded for. And he could have recorded songs by Johnny and Cole Porter, which he sometimes did. But he picked his own material, which is very unique. And he wrote some of his own songs. He picked this song, which was a very unique tune. And so John's going to have his way with this one here. It's a pretty song. And it was a big hit for him. So here we go. Nature Boy.
don't know. I like to perform. I've been doing it for over 40 years. I have a lot of younger guys in my band, and it's important that you keep exposing young musicians to our way of doing it, because young musicians go to college and they learn how to play what I've been talking about, this sort of esoteric jazz, which is, you know, scales and long solos and sort of this thing that only other jazz musicians show up for their gig. And you'll never make a living doing it, in my opinion.
Anyway, when Nat Cole was really getting established in the 1940s as a singer, he started earlier than that. He actually had a big band at the very beginning with his brother, of all things. And he struck out on his own as a singer and a piano player. And his real influence and competition was a guy named Louis Jordan. How many guys here, how many folks are hip to Louis Jordan, besides this gentleman right here? Alan? All right. So you're not hip to Louis Jordan?
Not so much.
Not so much, okay. But Alan, okay, my blues brother over here knows Louis Jordan. T-Bone and I have and Jeff's on this record, we have a whole CD of Louis Jordan songs coming out just in the next week, actually, that we recorded in 2017. I was able to get a grant from the Knight Foundation and put on a bunch of concerts and recorded them. And so we're putting them out one by one. This is number 3 in the series. And it's a whole retrospective on the work of the great Louis Jordan. He was king of the jukebox in the 1940s. Hit after hit after hit. Louis Jordan was such an influence on the saxophone that people like Ornette Coleman and Sonny Rollins rated him as one of the chief influences on the saxophone. And then as a singer, Ray Charles and B.B. King and Chuck Berry all rated him as top influences as a singer. Now, how do you like that? Huh? I think that's pretty impressive, wouldn't you say, right there? I mean, some of the most innovative saxophone players and some of the most influential singers all rated him as one of the most influential artists of all time. Now, people don't even talk about him anymore, but John and I do, of course. Now, this goes back to when John and I first met. One day I was walking down the street. I lived in the east side of Detroit at the time. And I was with my old partner, Rick Steiger and James O'Donnell, who John went to high school with. And I said, you know, 4 doors down the street was an old gentleman, probably about younger than I am now, but you know. Anyway, he was a saloon piano player. And he had thrown out a whole bunch of stuff in his front yard. And there was piles and piles of music. And we said, well, we better look at this. And we looked through, and there was a folio of scores of Ellington compositions and a book of Louis Jordan tunes. And we grabbed that stuff, and we learned a bunch of these songs. And we're still doing these Louis Jordan tunes to this day. And here's this CD coming out. And actually, I have a box I picked up 2 days ago from the pressing plant of 7-inch 45 RPM records that were printed up, so we had pressed up. So I actually have 45s, and then a couple of days I'll have the jackets made, and so I'll be selling 45s. So we are in the music business. We're in the record business here. So here we go. We'll be selling them at our next gig on Sunday, as a matter of fact. John, I like that. So here's a song from Louis Jordan. This is a tune that was a big hit. John and I, back when I was 25 and John was 21, playing in a band called the Sun Messengers. Maybe you heard of that group, I don't know. But we played in this group for many years called the Sun Messengers, and when we were young fellas, we had a man who was 65. It was an African-American gentleman, and he had played with people like Billie Holiday. And he when he played his horn, it sounded like it was 1945. I mean, he just had that sound. He was from that era, and he taught us a lot. We really learned about that old music from him, you know? And so we learned some of these songs to feature him, and John and I still play these songs. And so sort of John and I hope that by playing with these guys, that when we're long gone, when they're our age, they'll be hiring some young guys and saying, well, we play with these old guys, RJ and T-Bone, and you know, maybe this music will stay alive that way, because it'll be a conduit back to old Lou Barnett, and maybe they'll keep this music alive. That's what I hope that Sean and Jeff and Jake do, that they'll be playing some of these old songs 40 years from now. I hope that this is a continuum, that this music stays alive. You know, that's our hope, right, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's a song called Is You Is, or If You Ain't My Baby. Yes, you know that one, do you? Yeah, all right. And everybody at home, do you know how many people are listening or watching in our studio audience? You don't know? It's just out there in the ether?
It's not live, so.
It's not live?
But it'll be on Facebook.
It'll be on Facebook Live then or something. Okay, all right, well. Hello to you out there when the time comes.
Facebook land.
We're playing to this wonderful audience here, and John knows two of these gentlemen from college, and I know Alan for 30 years over, I guess, Alan. 25.
30, easy.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Yeah. All right, T?
1, 2, 1.
I got a girl, she's always late. Every time
not everybody wants to hear a bunch of, like I said, esoteric solos. So I think that when you have something that's from the heart and soulful and somebody singing, that connects with a wider range of people.
Nine songs that year that hit the top of the charts. That was a good year. Yeah, 1946.
He's an amazing guy. Yeah, that's who Nat Cole was trying to beat. That was the mark to hit right there.
9 top of the charts.
Amazing guy. Of course, I read several books about him, as you can well imagine. Okay. I think at this point we should head to New Orleans because we're getting down to the end of this whole show. There's a fun song that John does called. I think we should get naughty.
A little bit?
Yeah, I think we should do Jungkook Partner. This is a song John's been learning on every song off of that one Dr. John record. No, you know what? Let's do Mildred Joyce.
Sure.
Same record.
Mildred.
Same. This is a song originally by General Morton. Goes back to the earliest part of jazz here. The self-described inventor of jazz, Ferdinand General Morton. Yeah, let's do this one.
Same tempo and the same key, who cares, right?
cares?
At least we'll be in the major key, this one will be in the last one was in the minor. But this is a great tune. This is the final strain from Mildred Joyce. We have another group, RJ and I have been in, well, for decades now, is the Planet Dino Net, and we were gifted the entire McKinney's Cotton Picker library from New Orleans, and we were rehearsing like mad to do a concert.
It's a Detroit band.
Yeah.
But a guy from Detroit who lives in New Orleans sent me all of the charts. This is an interesting story because it was one of the great swing bands of all time was from Detroit called the Mckinney's Cotton Pickers. It was kind of an odd name, I know. But the charts were languishing. There was a great guy named Ernie Rogers. And he was the band director of the city of Detroit. He was the last living member of the band. And he had died, but before he died, he had told the nephew of one of the guys in the band, who was by this point living in New Orleans, and he makes a living as a musician down in New Orleans. He said to him, I'll send you the charts. Well, he died, and then 5 years later, his widow sends the charts on down to him. And this guy took all these charts that were all full of mildew from being down in the basement, and he and another guy took them all and computerized all of them and made them pristine and beautiful. And he started playing them down in New Orleans, and then after he'd been playing them for a couple of years, he contacted me and said, RJ, they need to be played in Detroit. This is where they're from. And so we had been rehearsing them every week. And our band is usually 10 guys. I had to add 2 more guys to the group to get them to sound correct. And we were rehearsing them every week, and we were going to play them at a concert a year ago last May. We started rehearsing them every week in September, a year ago last September. And we were working on them down pretty good. And then we did a preview concert in February, which was just packed, and the band sounded fantastic. And then, of course, we all know what happened a few weeks later in March of last year. So we scuttled that. But we played the full arrangement of Mildred Joyce then. So what John's saying is, this is sort of a little, just the ending strain of that song.
It's known as the parade strain. So this is what you hear down in New Orleans on the street. You don't hear the 7 strains before it. So walk that bass for me, guys. Come on, rock my soul with those Mildred Joyce. Rock my soul with those Mildred Joyce. Play that, don't refuse. Separate me from those real blues.
John and I have actually made a living playing music for over 40 years. Now, John teaches trombone to private students, and he has a degree in music education. He's never used it. He just plays music. I just play music. And that's because we connect with people. That's really what I want to say. I love playing for people, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. Thank you very much.
See, when you do New Orleans tunes written by people from New Orleans, it just takes you right down to New Orleans. Jelly Roll Morton is self-proclaimed inventor of jazz.
Mr. T-Bone Paxton, everybody. T-Bone Paxton. Come on, see you, John. One more time. One more time. There we go. Remember, these are only $10. It's $10 gonna make you holler. There you go. Yep. Now that's Jacob Schwann over here on the guitar. Jeff Cooney is our bassist. Sean Pulmenter. Yours truly, R.J. Spangler.